Hello, welcome back to another episode of Vermont's 100 covered bridges. Today I'm at the Upper Cox Bridge in Northfield. And again, welcome to Northfield Falls, Vermont, Upper Covered Bridge, Cox Brook, 1872, Queen Post. With no warning about horses and 10 mile an hour. So with that drive, again you saw how close these two bridges are. What I'm going to do is walk back and just make sure it's possible to see both bridges at the same time, or with a turn of the head. I'm also going to go and see if it's possible to see all three bridges. So are these two bridges twins? The answer is no. Although they traverse the same watercourse and are both Queen Post trusses, in order for it to be a true twin bridge, you have to be stood inside one whilst able to see the other. What I'm going to do is go up this hill and see if it's possible to see the station bridge as well. From here you can't see the station bridge because it doesn't go straight through in line with the lower Cox Brook Bridge. It goes off at an angle. So unless you're in a helicopter, you can't really see all three bridges with one eye, or two. So I did say I'd try and come back when the leaves were no longer on the trees. And this is March and it's snowing slightly. You can see behind me there, hopefully, the upper Cox Brook Bridge. And there in front of me is the lower bridge, and right behind it to the right you can see the top of the gable of the station bridge. I actually did go up here where I was before, and actually the higher you got the less you could see. So from this vantage point you can see all three of the cluster of bridges on Cox Brook Road. Once again, a warm welcome from the Vermont Covered Bridge Society. So the upper Cox Covered Bridge has more in common with the lower Cox Bridge rather than the two neighbours further downstream. Again, this is a little bit shorter than the lower bridge. This is 52 feet. So it's 5 feet shorter. It's still a Queen Post truss, as is the lower bridge. But as you can see, the sides are more open, on both sides, but not only with those sort of windows, but at the top as well. So this allows plenty of air to get in and to dry the sides. You can also see how the siding is angled away from the trusses to further protect it from rain. And that's a feature I don't think I've seen before. And as the sign said, and as it's said on all three of the bridges on Cox Brook Road, built in 1872, builder unknown. Maybe that was the builder's name, unknown. Something else unusual or peculiar about this bridge. So the bridge is built square on. The two portals are square on. But when we look inside the bridge, the abutments are skewed. So again, I've not seen that before. And once again, exactly like the lower Cox Bridge and the station bridge, this bridge has had very little work done to it. Such was the fine job the unknown builder made, but it did need I-beams down below, and of course we can go there and have a look shortly. The one good thing is, as you can see, This is probably one of the easiest bridges to get down to on both sides. Very accessible. You coming down? And just noticed on the way down, not only did the sides come out away from the edge of the sidings above the Queen Trust, they do it down here as well. Remarkable that I haven't seen that on any of the 60 odd bridges that I've been to. Now, first thing to notice about the bridge is the height from the water to the bridge. Way lower than the other two. And that was a problem in 2011 when Storm Irene hit the area. There was a large log, a large branch came down the river and apparently went straight through the gap in the window and into the roof, and caused the bridge to be closed for 1 or 2 months. No videos on that, unfortunately. But yeah, it is a very low bridge. So this side has sort of made a little use of the natural rock. Some glorious colours on that part, and obviously a concrete one, whereas this side is solid concrete, and here 1, 2, 3, 4 steel I-beams. And you can see here how the I-beams have taken the weight off the truss. Nice shot from upstream of the Cox Brook. We'll go and take a look from downstream. Have a look. You can see how much water has probably been under here and rusted them. Wonder how long they'll last. And again, you can see how the bridge is at a skew. and the view from downstream. Can you get more scenic than this? I can only imagine what the water's like when it's in full flow. We came back in March, and here the Cox Brook has been swelled with the melting snow and the rain we've had over the last week. And I can assure you that there looks very deep. Excellent for swimming in, but certainly not today. And this is what the river is below the upper Cox Brook Bridge. The bridge is just around that corner there. Completely different to when it was practically bone dry in October. I like on this side how all these stones, I guess, holding up the bank next to the road, but also supporting the abutment. Whereas that side, solid concrete. Does worry me, the lowness of that bridge. Not surprised, out of the three, that's the only one that got stung by Storm Irene. Again, nice bunch of flowers adorning both entrances, and again you can see that skew, whereas the bridge remains square. And of course the bridge sometimes is referred to as the third bridge because it's the third in line, but again, if you're coming from this way, it's the first. Also explains now why the lower bridge was called the middle one, because that is in the middle, whichever way you come from. So yeah, three unique bridges in a very short distance, all with their own little personalities. Once again, thanks for joining me on this episode, a trilogy, and yeah, been a nice little couple of hours visiting the three bridges. I enjoyed putting this one together, mismatching them all, and thanks again once to Vermont Covered Bridge Society, tremendous support and help, and please support them in everything and they do. I'll see you next week, again not too far from here, but on a completely different road, and it's actually back on Dog River. So I'll see you then. In between time, take care. Thanks.